I look really weird today because I have like blonde, orange, pinky hair, and then I have my face base makeup done and black eyebrows and no eye makeup. So I don't really know what's going on here. I'm just going with it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. So in this week's video, I thought I would address the makeup palette that is absolutely breaking the internet, like absolutely destroying it. It is the Kim Kardashian of makeup palettes right now. It is blowing up Instagram like a motherfudger. I can't swear on this because my dad told me not to. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, that is upside down, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I've heard so many mixed reviews about this palette. I've heard it's the best palette people have ever used, and I've heard it's the worst palette people have ever used. So I want to know if this palette is going to be a big hit or a big miss. On the Anastasia Beverly Hills UK website, this palette is £42, whereas I got mine on BEAUTYBAY for £41. However, I did have to wait a little bit after the release date to get my palette, but I would prefer to get it from BEAUTYBAY because I know you'll get next day free delivery over £25, so I got it the day after I ordered it. I saved £1 as well because it was £1 cheaper. The Subculture palette is the second eyeshadow palette to be released by Anastasia Beverly Hills after the Modern Renaissance palette. The Subculture palette features grungy mattes and bold metallics, which I am so much more in love with because the kind of tone of this palette is autumny, winter, grungy, and that is 110% my style. I more kind of go for dark makeup rather than, you know, light nudes. Oh, I'm so excited to try this. So first things first, obviously the packaging on the new Subculture palette is a dark teal, and the one on the Modern Renaissance is kind of like a dusty pink. So the reason that I 110% prefer the Subculture packaging to the Modern Renaissance one is because the Modern Renaissance one is so light and it gets dirty so easily, whereas on the Subculture one I don't see that is not going to get dirty very easily. And even if it does, like, there's a couple of marks on it already, but even if it does, like, you can barely see it on it because it's so dark. It's just so pretty. Anastasia Beverly Hills is one of the high-end brands that are cruelty-free, kind of like one of the only ones that are cruelty-free. However, not all their products are vegan. Like, for instance, this palette is cruelty-free. It's got the PETA cruelty-free certified logo on it. However, it's not vegan because it does contain CARMINE, which is a dye which is produced from boiling down and crushing beetles, and it produces this really red colour, which kind of sucks because I don't really technically want to be putting crushed up beetle on my face. Don't think anyone wants that, to be honest. First things first, before I open this palette and show you the wonderful array of colours inside, I did do a video before this using some of the colours, not all the colours, but the problem with that video is it was orange because I didn't do the lighting very well. So I did play around with some of the colours in this palette, but this time round I'm going to play with the opposite colours I didn't use in that video, so I'll give you a complete first impression. But I do have opinions on the ones I used, which I'll obviously be stating, but then there's ones I didn't use, which I'm going to be giving you my first impression of. Let's get to it. Oh, ta-da! Obviously there's meant to be a makeup brush there, but if I hold it up like this it's going to fall, and I dropped way too many things in my video already. So this is the inside of the palette. So the thing with this palette is when I first saw it on Instagram being advertised by Anastasia Beverly Hills, I was in love. But when looking for inspiration to kind of create an eye look for this, I wanted like something that used most of the colours, and then it kind of clicked to me that these colours don't suit each other, they don't complement each other very well at all. I just feel like in the Modern Renaissance palette all the colours just worked so well together because they weren't similar toned, but they were of the same spectrum, whereas in the Subculture palette they're just so different. My personal opinion, they don't complement each other that well. The palette also comes with this, every time I drop something. The palette also comes with this dual-ended Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow brush. We have a side for blending and a side for packing on the eyeshadows, mainly to the lid or under eye, and it's really cute. However, it's not as soft as I expected it to be. I have really sensitive eyes, so as soon as I use something that's a little bit too harsh on my eyes, they will water, so that's a really big problem for me when it comes to using specific eyeshadow brushes. I have researched high and bloody low to find out if this eyeshadow brush is vegan, and I just can't find it anywhere, like not even in emails to Anastasia Beverly Hills, on their FAQs, in other blog posts, in other reviews. I can't find out if this is synthetic hair, and I think it is because some of the other brushes on Anastasia Beverly Hills are synthetic, not all but some, and I'd like to hope this was as well. But the thing is, if I find out this isn't synthetic hair, it's going straight in the bin because I'm not that keen on this brush. I only use it because it came with the palette and it's just another eyeshadow brush. If any of you guys know if this is actually made of synthetic or real animal hair, please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to know if I'm chucking this away or if I'm keeping this, because I don't feel that comfortable rubbing it on my eyelids if it's some poor animal's tail. So before I pop them on my eyelids, I'm gonna swatch them on my arm quickly for you so you can kind of see what the texture is like. So I'm gonna swatch these for you. So my swatches are a little bit wonky, like they go down my arm, my bad. So this is where I started with the palette and this is where I ended with the palette. So this one here is Cube. It is the first and only chrome shade within the palette. You can barely see it, not gonna lie. Then we have Dawn, which is kind of like a light peach. It's more of a transition shade, but I wish it was a little bit more pigmented. Then we've got Destiny, which in the pan it looks so pigmented and strong, whereas on my arm, like, it looks so dusty. Then we've got the one that absolutely everyone went crazy over. We've got Dawn, and it's the first metallic shade in the collection, and it is just stunning. Like, that shine is ridiculous. Then we have All Star, which again, just like Destiny, I thought it was going to be a lot stronger in the pan, but when it came out it was like very, very dusty. Then we've got Mercury. Again, I imagine this to be so much lighter. On my arm in the swatch it was just so dark, wasn't expecting that at all from it. Then we've got Axis, which I'm absolutely in love with. Like, you can tell, like, the pigment is so strong in that, like, it makes my heart melt. Then we've got Roxy, which is the one that I was so interested in. Strong peach colour, and it is so pigmented. And then we've got Electric, and it is the second metallic shade within the collection, and oh, it is just stunning. Then we've got Fudge, which is just a natural brown colour, and again, it's super pigmented. And then we've got New Wave, which is, again, it's kind of like a cross between a peach and a yellow, kind of like a mustardy colour. Then we've got Untamed, it's kind of like a light version of Axis, more of like a teal colour. Edge is kind of like a more dark lemony yellow. And then Rowdy, which on here looks super pigmented, but it comes off so easily and I'm not that impressed with it. So yeah, they're all the swatches on my arm. They are super wonky and I'm super sorry. Some of the shades were super, super, super powdery. Like, the fallout from them was insane. However, some of them, like Dawn and Roxy, was super, super buttery and creamy, and I just really, really, really liked them. However, All Star, Rowdy and Destiny kind of belittled my expectations of this palette, because in the pan they look super, super, super pigmented. On the swatch they're barely there at all. So I'm going to use the mirror. Ew, almost dropped the palette. I'm going to use the mirror and the palette to do my eyeshadows. Let's get started. Little disclaimer, I'm not a makeup artist. I do makeup for fun, and I do makeup because I like the way it looks on me and my personal preference, but if it doesn't work for you then that's fine. But I am not a makeup artist and do not take my makeup skills as kind of like pro tips, because I am merely a beginner in this. So last night I was scrolling through Instagram and I finally found a kind of combination of the eyeshadows that I liked from the palette, and I'm going to try and recreate that with the similar colours, because it was like literally the only one that I found that I was like, oh damn, that's a hot eyeshadow. So to start off with the base of my lid, I'm going to be using Dawn, which is this one right here, this really nude peachy colour. I'm going to be using that all over my lid. First things first, as you can see, I'm just tapping it and all that fallout is ridiculous. So look, ready? But I'm just taking the blending side of the brush to pack this all over my lid. That colour went on quite nicely. The only issue with Dawn is there's just so much fallout. So I'm using Dawn as my transition colour, but I'm going to be using Edge for my next one, which is going to go in the crease and kind of as a transition colour as well. Again, there is so much fallout. That is such a waste of eyeshadow. And it's just all over my clothes. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I've only put two of the lighter shades on, and they've left like a grey mark around the crease of my eye. It won't even go away, that's the thing. Why are you doing that? So yeah, for some reason got a grey mark there, but okay. So the next colour I'm going to be using is New Wave, which is a darker mustard colour. I'm also going to be using this as a transition shade as well, and I'm kind of hoping it's now going to get rid of that weird grey mark that I have, because I don't understand why it's now gone grey, but it has. It's still there. So again, New Wave has all of this fallout, and it's ridiculous because it is like I didn't buy a palette for half of it to vanish into dust. So I'm just going to go back in with Dawn and blend these out because the lines are a little bit too harsh. So next I'm going to go in with Fudge onto kind of the crease of my eye again, but more focused into the crease rather than as a transition colour. I'm going to take the kind of thinner side of my brush and do the edge bit. It doesn't matter to me if this bit's too messy anyway, because I'm kind of going to make like a cut crease. Oh my god, this brush is so bad for blending, I'm not going to lie. It's taking so long to blend these shades out because the brush is just not a very good blending brush at all. Although Fudge did go on quite well. It's a bit harsh in this corner, but I can't seem to get rid of it because the brush doesn't want to let me. This eyeshadow palette would not be good if you're in a rush. So I think that's probably the best blending I'm going to get out of this, because this eyeshadow palette is not working with me today. But I'm now going to go ahead and make my cut crease using my, oh my god, I almost dropped the palette. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cut crease now using my Milani foundation and concealer 2-in-1 thing. Hopefully this will bring maybe the pigment out in some colours better when I pack them onto my eyelid. Hopefully that's the plan. I always do my cut crease kind of a little bit higher than my actual lid, purely because it makes your eyes look bigger. I know this works for specific eye types. Like I've seen Nikki tutorials do it and it looks amazing. So now I've done the cut crease on both my lids, I'm now going to pop on a bit of Untamed into the outer corners of my eye and kind of blend it out to give my eye some definition. So I'm going to be using Untamed. I'm a bit scared to use this because it is a teal colour and it's quite a strong teal colour, so if it goes wrong and blending out with this brush is going to be impossible. But we'll give it a go. Now I'm a bit scared, is there going to be loads of fallout? No! Oh my god, no fallout. Well, a little bit of fallout, but not enough. Not like loads compared to the other ones. I'm just going to dab it on because I want a really light hand when I do this. Oh my god, that is super pigmented. Oh, okay. For the first time ever, I actually really like the colour scheme that's going on from this palette. I do have to keep going back with Dawn though to blend some of the harsher lines out, which is a bit annoying because if it actually blended a bit easier then I wouldn't have to keep doing that, and I kind of wish I used sellotape because the fallout from these eyeshadows is going everywhere. Next I'm going to pack my lid of Electric, which is the second metallic shade within this collection. I'm going to wet it first because I've heard if you wet this shade it might show up a bit more pigmented. So I've just dampened this end of the brush, hoping that it will make Electric more pigmented. My chair is squeaking like crazy already and it's annoying me. Oh my god. So I've already done one eyelid, but I thought I'd show you that Electric has no fallout whatsoever. It's so buttery and creamy and it shows up on the brush so well. And even if you tap it, like nothing comes off. It's so buttery. I really like the shade. Like at first I was really unsure of it, but now I'm like, damn girl, this is the shade. Oh, it's so pretty. So Electric is now all over my lid, but I'm just going to go back in with Untamed and blend that out because I've gone over the Untamed bit. So I'm going to do a statement under eye next, and I'm going to take Axis, which is this dark teal colour, and I'm going to pop it all under my under eye. As you can see, if I do this, all that fallout that's there, getting on my nerves. So although when I swatched it, you couldn't really see Cube that well, I kind of want to see if it works on my eyes. I'm going to take Cube and I'm going to pop it under my brow bone and in the corner of my eyes. Damn, okay. It's got lavender, purpley undertones to it, which is cute. Okay, well, that is the finished eyeshadow look from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I'm just going to pop some eyeliner on quickly to actually finish the look. So this is a finished look with eyeliner and mascara on, and I actually really like it. However, when I did look in the mirror, I did realise I had a big blue patch here. I don't know how long that's been there for, but that is one of the issues with the eyeshadows as well, is they are so prone to smudging and very easily, because of all the fallout and just generally the formula is so powdery that, yeah, if it fell, it was just going to smudge. Overall, I'm really liking this kind of combination of colours. I can't remember who put it on Instagram. I just fell in love with it, and now I've tried it on myself. I absolutely love it. This video is an honest review of the palette. The first time I tried this palette and I did the video on it, that didn't work very well. I wasn't a fan at all. I just thought it was the biggest waste of money I've spent. £41 was not worth it. I hated it so much on the first palette. Now I've tried it again with a new combination of colours. I love it. Like, that looks so like false, but I love it. Like, I love this combination of colours that's been going on. It's just a shame that not all the colours are amazing. Like, it's a shame that only 50% of the palette is worth it and the other 50% is 110% not worth it. Would I buy this again? No, I wouldn't, no. Because although I love this look that's been created today and the shades used and the colours and the tones and the pans and everything, it's kind of a limited selection you get from this palette to make it look quite good. I think you have to be very daring to wear this palette out as kind of like an everyday look, but as a night evening look, I really like this. But again, I'm not going to spend £41 on a palette where I can only create one look that I'm happy with. I would rather have a palette which is half the price, double the amount of pans, and can be wearable for day and night and have a selection, like a wide range of combinations to make. Whereas this, I feel like with the Subculture palette, I'm quite limited with what I personally would like my eyeshadows to look like. It sucks because I just love this look that I've done so much, whereas this is just like, I don't know. I have seen a lot of people claim this as a miss, and I'm going to be one of those people that joins that. I also wouldn't buy this palette again because it's not vegan. I don't like the idea of maybe one of the pans I've used on my face has beetle in it. So if you guys liked my first impressions-ish / review / tutorial video thing, then please let me know in the comments below. So if you did like that video, smash that like button, and if you want to see more of my face and more of my videos, then hit that subscribe button. So for now, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in my next couple of videos. Bye guys!